Hey everyone, Mark Hespin here, host of On the Mark on News Talk 1070 KHMO and the KHMO app. Follow me on all social media channels at Mark Hespin. I want to jump into today's Wednesday midweek update video by saying that camp is officially open for, I think, half of the NFL teams. By the end of the week, we'll have almost everyone, I think, in camp ready to go. We are, 2.5 weeks away from the Bears versus the Texans in the opening game. I mean, not even. Where are we at today? Today's the 17th. 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks and a day away from Bears-Texans Hall of Fame game. So I want to take this opportunity to give you my pick for who I think is going to be the MVP of the 2024-2025 season. To me, when I start thinking about the MVP, there's 3 things that you really need to have if you're trying to get the MVP, right? Wins is number 1. Got to have a team that's winning. You got to either win your division, win your conference, get the number 1 overall seed, be a part of a winning team, carry your team to the playoffs type of performance. If you're not in the playoffs, it's almost a 99.999% chance you're not going to win the NFL MVP. So wins are really important. Number 2, stats. Are you putting up big numbers when you're winning? Are you a tangible, measurable asset to winning your games? Or you touchdown passes, touchdown throws, receptions, catches, whatever it might be. Can we judge your stats on directly correlating to your team's wins? So those are 2 big ones, wins and stats. But the third one I think is a really underrated one, and I think it's one that matters more in basketball, but it really does still matter in football. And that is the narrative of, do you have a good storyline or not? Is your storyline interesting? Is your storyline something that the writers can get behind, the fans can easily get behind and say, hey, this makes a ton of sense. This is really cool. Underdog story, comeback story, never won before type of story. So those are 3 things that really, to me, matter when we talk about it. So all of that considered, all of that on the table, I am taking Josh Allen as my 2024-2025 NFL MVP. So let me walk you through it. Wins. I think that the Bills are an 11-win team last year, and I actually think overall as a roster, they made enough improvements to me to be at least an 11-win team to win their division again. I'd see them, if you go through the schedule, as more of like a 12-win team, 11, 12-win team, winning enough to get themselves into the playoffs to win their division. I think the wins will be there. The stats. Josh Allen is a stat monster. I think when you look at Josh Allen's stats, I think this is a year he cuts down on turnovers a little bit. I think this is a year he goes back to running the football a little bit more. And I do think that Josh Allen is someone who I'm not worried about with injuries. I think he'll play 17 games. And so all of those things should fall into place where he should put up big numbers, 35 plus touchdown passes, maybe another 8 or 7 or 8 touchdown runs, cut down on the interceptions. Can he keep it to single digits? That would be huge. Cut down on fumbles. I think all of that's going to play out for him. Maybe end up with a 4,000-yard passing season, maybe even 4,300 yards passing. I think all of that is on the table for Josh Allen. And finally, I think the storyline is the big one for Josh Allen. He's never won it before. His contemporaries in Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes have won one, multiple in that case. And I also think Stefon Diggs is out of the building. So whatever Josh Allen does this year is going to be judged exponentially in the positive direction as far as Josh Allen goes, in the sense that he's doing it with less, right? Josh Allen doing it with less talent. So no Stefon Diggs, there's no guaranteed number 1 receiver. Dalton Kincaid, the star tight end, he's got to be big for them this year. I like Shakir and some of the other pieces on the wide receiver core, like their running back group, like the Bills' offensive line. But it's going to overall be easy to say, well, he's doing it with a less. No Stefon Diggs. Sports writers, it's a good narrative to follow, right? It's an easy narrative, doing more with less. Josh Allen puts up the same numbers, same type of wins, but does it without Stefon Diggs. Well, then it's Josh Allen's carrying the team. It's more with less. And if Josh Allen's able to do more and even put up bigger numbers, which I think he could, because having a distraction like Diggs out of the locker room is really big for, I think, the Bills and stuff and Josh Allen, I think it all makes sense. I think all roads lead for me to easily say at plus 800 this morning on the FanDuel Sportsbook, plus 800, good number to get Josh Allen as the NFL MVP for the 2024-2025 season. Mahomes is the favorite this morning at plus 500. Some of the other people I think you could consider, Joe Burrow at plus 1,000. He's got a lot that Josh Allen's got going for him. The difference is he's kind of got the comeback, you know what I mean, coming back from injury. So he could easily slot into comeback player of the year. He does have the negative in the sense that he has Jamar Chase, he has T. Higgins. He's got two of the best wide receivers in the NFL, the best 1-2 punch in the NFL wide receiver core. And so it's easy to be like, well, is it Joe Burrow or is it just those dudes are so good? So he's got that going against him. He's also in a tougher division. So for him getting wins and winning that division will be tougher. But that being said, it also works positively for Joe Burrow. If he's able to win the division, win 12 games, he did it in the tougher division. So that could work positively for him. So Joe Burrow, I think, is a really good value at plus 1,000. I think Josh Allen's still my favorite. The other three quarterbacks I think you can consider. I'm not going to look at the wide receivers or anything. It's so hard for them to win an MVP. They'd have to have a 2,000-yard season. They'd have to have double-digit touchdowns for them to even be considered. And then it would still just be easy to put them as the offensive player of the year. Same with the running back. Jordan Love at plus 1,400 is good value because I do think the Packers have a great chance of winning the NFC North, have a great chance of maybe being the 1 seed of the NFC. They have a really workable schedule. So that's interesting if you believe in Jordan Love and the Packers. And then two quarterbacks who, again, I think are poised to have really big years. I think they're going to lead their teams to the playoffs. I think both quarterbacks are going to win their division. And so depending on the numbers, you could easily say win their division quarterbacks, big years make the playoffs. Oh, it's a lot of great stuff for them to be an NFL MVP. And they're insane value. Matt Stafford and Trevor Lawrence at plus 3,000. Plus 3,000. Trevor Lawrence can get the Jags to the number 2 seed, win the AFC North. Win the AFC South. Puts up big numbers off the big contract. Look out for Trevor Lawrence being a really easy, write-in MVP candidate. And Matt Stafford, I think the Rams have a really great chance of winning the NFC West this year and maybe even being the number 1 overall seed in the NFC. If they do that, Matt Stafford could be a shoo-in for the NFL MVP depending on his numbers. I'm going to go with Josh Allen. That's my preseason NFL MVP pick. Let me know yours. Where did I get right? What did I get wrong? Who am I missing? Am I missing an obvious candidate? I will say I think a lot of people are waiting for me to say Caleb Williams, right? Bear down, Caleb Williams. But I think that's just too much. He's good odds. I might sprinkle a little just on myself on Caleb Williams just because I'm a hopeful diehard Bears fan. But no, I'm not going to go with Caleb Williams as my favorite to win the NFL MVP. We'll do that video in a year from now, right? Follow me on all social media at Mark Hespen, MarkHespen. That's Twitter/X. That's Instagram. And that's here on YouTube. Like and subscribe. We'll see you Saturday morning for a live and local edition on The Mark on News Talk 1070 KHMO and the KHMO app.